All right, and we're live, man. Thanks for jumping on, Alex.
Hello, Michael. It's nice to be here. Hello, everyone.
Hey, where real quick, where are you calling in from? Can you tell the folks?
Yeah, I'm in Bucharest, Romania.
Okay, what time is it out there?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. Okay.
Yeah,
Just to give you a heads up, it's noon over here where I'm at. I'm in Austin, Texas, so we're on the Central Time Zone.
Central.
And
Yeah,
so thank you for staying up late and jumping on to do this stream. I won't
no
mind if you
problem.
have like a beverage or you have if you're winding down, if you need to do that, that's totally fine. So no judgment here. It's
Thank you.
it's about that time.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Then
Well, thanks
maybe
again, man.
later.
And just yeah, and just to give everyone a heads up, and just to lay down the platform here, welcome everyone to the ranking stream. Obviously, we have a special guest, and during just real quick around the talking about the ranking stream. It's for novice SEOs all the way to experts, anyone who's actually doing the SEO work, who needs a leg up in terms of new tools that are out there. They want to know the resources that exist to help their lives be just easier in terms of getting the actual work done, managing their clients. So we interview experts, we interview tool builders, we interview anyone who's making our lives essentially easier. So as mentioned, we have a special guest, Alex Dumitru, and
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, hopefully I said that right, man. I know, like my accent is not terrible, okay, but I think just correct me if I'm wrong on that. All right, I know I'm being a little self conscious about that, but correct me if I'm
Uh,
wrong. So
no, it's okay. Dumitru, it's okay. It's maybe it's a bit harder to pronounce in English.
it's a great name. It might just be my coffee like mouth right now. It's just not, it's not as flexible right now.
Maybe.
But anyway, can you give us a little bit of your background in terms of how you started out and just kind of what you're working on now? Alex is the founder of Headway Apps, but he's got a long history of buying or selling digital assets. So just give us a little bit of background in terms of how you started out and what you're working on now.
So yeah, I've been doing online businesses for I don't know over 10 years now. I started with the graphic design studio where we were creating digital products for designers, photographers, and we were selling vector art, Photoshop brushes, Photoshop effects, stuff like that. And in 2012, we built Inky Deals platform, a marketplace for this kind of stuff, and it went pretty well. And we sold that in 2017. Then we did Designius, something a bit similar with that, but a subscription where you would have access to everything we were creating. Again, in the same digital space, vector art, fonts, and all kind of stuff. T-shirt designs. It was an interesting product for people that are in the print-on-demand business. We had a lot of customers, especially in the US, that were needing those type of designs. Um, we did some NFTs like 2 years ago, and
You laugh about
starting.
that, yeah? Tell me why.
Yeah, yeah. I know
Yeah.
it was a fun project to build, and it was interesting to work in that space and use our graphic design experience combined with the NFTs guys that were trying to build their collections.
Right.
Um, and last year we sold Designius as well, and I started Headway Apps. I wanted to do something in the software space, uh, and I think I'm seeing something there. I started a few projects in the Google Workspace Marketplace. We have 3 products now. One of them is DocPress, for which you called me. It helps SEOs export their articles quicker from Google Docs to their WordPress site. And it does a few other things. It analyzes your content a bit. It helps you create
Hmm.
the articles really quickly. You don't have to download the images. You don't have to. You just click a button and everything is transferred there.
Hmm. Super fast. Lots of good ventures there. Before we dig into some of the like DocPress and some of the other applications that you have on the Headway apps website, Can you talk a little bit more? I'm very curious around the like micro tools. So you said you had a design venture that where you sold like tool brushes and little, smaller kind of utilities for designers.
Mhm.
How did
That's
you
right.
find that that niche was like going to be worth have any value if it's super specific? Like how did you obviously you were a designer, but yeah, can you talk a little bit about that in terms of how you saw the potential there?
Actually, I was not the designer. I only had the handle the business side and
Okay.
the tech side. But my partners were in this space, and
Hmm.
we had hired a lot of people that went to graphic design schools. We actually posted jobs on the
Hmm.
door of the university to hire these people. Yeah,
Interesting.
and
Yeah.
yeah, we were. I think we were lucky enough to be in the space at the beginning, and
Mm,
we saw that it was very easy for people to use them and create something new with them. So uh, when we put them on the website, people were willing to buy without us doing something special.
mm,
It was they were simple tools. They weren't expensive or anything. Actually, a few maybe there were, because some were very complex. Maybe some Photoshop actions were more complex, or effects. It depends. Fonts are something like that's more expensive, but the vector art was helping designers that are not so good with the creating it on paper. Because what we did, our process was, um, we were creating the design on paper, scan it,
mm,
and then vectorize it in Adobe Illustrator. But it not everyone knows how to design with their hand.
mm.
Most of the people know how to use the mouse, and that's, I don't know, it's different.
It's
You're more creative when using pen and paper. You're more connected, I guess, with what you're creating. More original most of the time.
right. And did you guys rely on like the sale of the tour, like advertising as well on the website? What was the primary kind of monetization method for this specific tool?
Yeah, a lot of that was through advertising. What we were
Mm,
doing, it was we were giving away a lot of the stuff. So if we had a set of 12 Photoshop brushes, one of them was free. So here is a
mm,
sample. You can do anything you want with it. If you like it, you can buy the other 11 with $10, $15, $20.
mm,
So that was one of the, and the other way was by email marketing. That was a big revenue funnel,
mhm,
because in order to get the free Photoshop brush, you had to enter your
mm.
email and accept our newsletter. You could unsubscribe
Gotcha.
at any time, but we were delivering free stuff to the newsletter subscribers every week.
Mm,
So there were that was just one of the reasons. Uh, we were keeping people subscribed to the newsletter, and I don't know, from every 2 3 emails, one of them was purchase something.
mm,
The other two were, okay, let's here is a tutorial, here is another free vector art or free font or something like that. So we were keeping the people busy, to put it like that.
yeah. Right. Yeah. And you entice them with that with the free tools to build your email list, which is
Yeah,
genius.
that's
I
right.
think that's a
Yeah,
really
it
good
was.
idea.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had like 200,000 when we had the marketplace. Two hundred
That's
thousand people.
amazing.
That, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Well I did see you on another YouTube video or a YouTube video with Blake Hutchinson, the CEO of Flippa. Did you guys exit this venture with Flippa, or was it another way of selling the digital property? And Flippa was another
Yeah, the
venture.
last one, Design Yes, was sold through Flippa, and it was a
Gotcha.
great process. It's a great marketplace if you want to sell your digital business.
Yeah.
Uh, They did help us with some of the process because our property was a bit more expensive than what they usually sell. They gave us some help with that as well. Um, and it was a good process. I mean, it was simple. We found a good buyer that was uh, interested in the space, wanted to learn. He didn't, he was a programmer actually. He is,
Oh
well,
wow.
we still keep in
Yeah.
touch. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is there a reason why you went with Flippa versus any other marketplace, or did you shop around different marketplaces, or you knew exactly like Flippa was offering what you needed for that specific, the sale of the venture?
We sold another business back in 2008 or 9, then something like that, through Flippa. So the
Okay.
first website we sold was through Flippa. And I knew how what's the process. Usually, we wanted to sell quick. Flippa had the bias, like we didn't have to shop around through different marketplaces. We tried micro acquire, but that was weird a bit. It didn't fit our model.
Mm-hmm.
They were selling a lot of SaaS tools, not
Hmm.
necessarily uh, e-commerce design stuff that we were doing.
Right.
Our website was a mix because we had a
Mm.
simple design tool, vector, a small Canva version that we were using with our library, not with any other library. So people could design simple t-shirt designs, for example, with our library, because we had a lot of elements, design elements
Hmm.
that you could combine and create something new. We had the fonts, we had the, so it
That
was a
makes a lot of
mix.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the product seemed to just fit very naturally in the market to the marketplace itself with Flippa and just the
There,
community
yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. People are looking there for different types of businesses. You know, on other marketplaces are more specific.
Gotcha. Okay. So that makes a lot of sense. And then explain the jump from NFTs to, Doc Press. And was Doc Press a venture that had always been in play, or did you just recently launch this? Because on your website, there's a whole suite of software tools, and I love this. It's a bunch of digital properties. Can we
Okay,
can we talk? Actually, yeah. Can you give us a rundown of that story and then like each
okay,
property and how they operate?
okay. So, how did the dog press started? In 2020, we actually dog press started out of need. For example, we
Hmm.
at designers, we had the, I think this is a hack of somehow, uh, guest posting. So
Hmm.
we had a page where we would accept guest posts. People would send us every day like 5 6 emails. I want to put a post on your website.
Hmm.
What do you want to the website to what do you want the article to be about? And most of them were spam, but some of them were really okay people that were reaching out, and I would reply, okay, this is our guest post page. Guess you saw it. We need this and that. Okay, they would always send us a Google Doc to
Hmm.
review, accept, and did then publish on the website, on the WordPress blog. Uh, but it was a nightmare to download, actually to copy paste the content of the um, Google Doc to the
Right.
WordPress page. Images were hard to download because they would integrate the images in the doc. They didn't send us separate files.
Hmm.
Okay, here is the images as well. They would just send us, okay, share. They would share the Google Doc. We would accept it, and then we would have to
Hmm.
post it ourselves. We didn't give them any access to our WordPress blog, like authors or something. We would
Right.
transfer the yeah, we would transfer the content there. So this is how we started. We need to make this easier. This process, it was taking me because I was the one that doing it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
like
Yeah.
I don't want to spend 2 hours on copy pasting this. It must be a better way. I found the process. There was this WordPress plugin, but I had to download the Google Doc as docx, like the
Yeah.
Microsoft Word, and then upload it to the website. And then I had to rename every image because being a design blog, we would have many images. So I had to do that
Oh yeah.
manually. And
Just a
I
headache.
hated it and I made it better. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And one
And
thing I don't. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, that was the process basically. I tried to make it easier for me to do this quicker, faster.
That's how some of the great. That's how the greatest tools start, right? Just like solving a need. When I was looking at Docket on the website here, I had the window up. I noticed the analysis of the SEO, like the content, the SEO analysis of the content. I don't see that with a lot of other tools. Can you explain just how it analyzes like the on-page elements? Is it looking for keywords? And if you have, I think you had a demo or something. You wanted to share something, we could go ahead and do that as well.
Yeah, we can do that. Let me do that.
No problem. And yeah, while you're looking that up, yeah, that definitely stood out in terms of the analysis, because certainly the task is typically it's pretty laborsome of getting the document, as you mentioned, transferring over to WordPress. But the analysis typically takes the longest, and you have to use a separate tool for that. So
It,
so I have your screen up now. Yeah.
okay, it's not really the most complex tool for analyzing your on-page SEO, but
Hmm.
it does give you a start on when you're or on if you're on the right track. Um, so basically, what it does, we have this word counter here, and it tells you a bit of stuff like uh, how many words you have a readability score with some easy to understand here instructions. And then the SEO tool basically analyzes the content on the page. It verifies if you have links, what types of links do you have, if you have H1, H2, if you have images, if you have alt text to the images,
Hmm.
and a couple of stuff like let's put this and let's put this here.
That's pretty thorough. You said it wasn't. You said it's pretty basic, but that's pretty advanced. I mean, just those things alone are critical elements on the on-page side. So
Yeah,
yeah.
so at this moment, this the blog post as it is now, I made it specially to be mediocre or low
Yeah.
with a low score because I wanted to display what it does. So
Right.
the score is now not okay. You need to work on it. So you don't want to transfer the
Hmm.
this blog post to your WordPress site. Uh, you need to aim for at least 500 words. So we failed this. The post contains some links, and the target keyword is in the post title. Like I guess we have it
Mm.
here as an H1, and we have images that don't have alt tags,
Hmm.
and the H2s don't contain the target keyword. So we could add that and get a better score. Um, what DocPress does is if we have an alt text, so if we put this here, uh, what will DocPress do when we will transfer the uh, article to the WordPress site? It will rename automatically this image with the alt text. So you don't have to
Mm.
do that anymore. So you will already have the name of the image as your alt text, and it will help you improve your SEO score without you doing anything. So I know there are plugins that sorry, There are plugins that can help you rename your images, but this
Right.
way I think it's easier.
Absolutely. And so whenever the migration process happens, when you're migrating the Google Doc to WordPress, essentially, what does it? Oh, you got that a good score. I
Yeah.
see that.
So yeah, we have a good score
Yeah.
now because we just added these a couple
Yeah.
of
The alt
things.
text. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So again, yeah. So transitioning from the Google Doc to the website, what does that process look like? Is it a massive import of URLs, or how does that kind of go from here to the website?
Actually, once you have the website connected, let me-
Okay. So you connect it through the app there.
yes, you can add a new uh, WordPress site. You connect to it, and it will look like something like this. You will It will automatically connect your
Hmm.
categories.
That's
It
really
will,
neat.
yeah. The post title can be edited, or it will take it automatically from your H1. And we have a few SEO options here: links in new tabs, apply no follow to links, and set image alt text. The feature I was telling you about
Hmm.
earlier. We can upload
I
the
didn't.
images. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, you finish.
Image processing, you can upload them through this or not. WordPress SEO styles, this should be by default because the document styles will just copy an entire script. Like, you don't want that.
Right.
And
Right.
the post status, it's draft usually because this, how we design DocPress to work is to publish your article as a draft, because sometimes people do
Yeah.
have a lot of other edits in their WordPress blog, and
Hmm.
we gave them the option. You can publish it directly if you want. We have people that are,
That's neat.
yeah, they're publishing, like, I don't know, they're using ChatGPT to create 50 articles a day and they publish it like that. So,
Yeah.
but it
I know
depends
people
what
like that.
kind
Yeah.
of publishing you're doing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's up to
Exactly.
you.
Right. Hey, on that menu area there, what about the? I know the URL is pretty obviously like important for the users, not so much for like rankings necessarily, but like, is there a way to kind of update the slug URL or the URLs or to add keywords in there and optimize those, or does that have to be
At the
done inside
moment, we
inside
don't do
the? Okay.
that. We leave
Oh, right
that
on.
to
Okay.
be processed directly in the WordPress page.
Which is probably where you want to do it anyway. You probably want to do it on the page
Uh,
to inside of
yeah, you
WordPress.
want to do it on the page. That was my guess. It's not something that we didn't want to build. It's just something that I don't think it was necessary for users to do it here. So again, this
Yeah.
is not to be. It's not the tool that you want to publish directly in your WordPress blog. I think there are. I think I'm using WordPress for 10 years or so, maybe more. And people have very different WordPress setups. They have their own
Oh yeah.
plugins that they want to use for SEO, for publishing. They have title, subtitles. They have
Right.
they're using tags or not using tags. They don't use categories. For example, it's there's a lot going on there, and we want to let the user do it there. And DocPress does very well what it does. So transfer content from your Google Doc to your WordPress site with a bit
Right.
of
No, that
other
yes,
things.
absolutely. This makes a lot of sense. And I can't, I mean, I love this because it's going to save a lot of time from migrating content over. And a lot of what we do from like content that I get from my writers is a lot of the editing is done obviously in Google Docs, but the transitioning part is probably one of the time that takes, it takes the most time to roll that over. So I could see how it was a problem on your side. And you're just like, screw this. I'm just going to fix it for myself and build my own application for that.
Yeah.
But it's so like great that it's directly in Google Docs, because that's where a lot of the content is, rather than, I mean, Microsoft Word Docs. I mean, that's even tougher, right? Because then you have a file that you have to download, then you have to bring it up, edit, track all your edits, and then migrate that over into, WordPress. But this, I mean, since it's essentially, all in, it's open, the data's there, and the information, the content's there, and all that needs to happen is just something like this plugin to migrate that over. So I dig it. I think it's going to save a lot of headaches for doing this. So thank you for solving this problem. I think it's definitely useful
Yeah,
for folks like me. Yeah. And
yeah.
so,
It was. Sorry.
oh, sorry, I was going to say, like, are mainly, are agencies using the tool, or freelancers your primary kind of users, or like who's obviously publishers? Who's your kind of your primary audience for this tool?
Mostly people that publish more than 2 3 blogs per month.
Yeah.
So yeah, agencies use it. People, affiliate marketers use it because they publish a lot of content. Uh, Content that's heavy on links, maybe sometimes images, and they do reviews, for example, and they want to do it quickly. They don't want to sit around hours to transfer posts from Google Docs to WordPress. Um, but we do have individuals that are, I mean, regular bloggers that don't want to spend time either. We added this tool with AI tool. In case you run out of ideas, you can use the AI tools.
Very nice.
It's You can generate article ideas. That was okay. What do I write about today? You enter the topic and it will generate, I don't know, houseplants. And we have 5 results. So how to
Yeah.
grow best
Nice.
houseplants for every room in your home. 7 easy care houseplants to add color to and life to your home. So
Very nice.
it's yeah, article intros. Again, if you have writer's block, maybe you take this one of the ideas and you put it here in this one, and it will give you a short article intro. And
Right.
then the rewrite text, you can rewrite the bits and parts that was for the affiliate marketers. Someone asked us about this, man. If I want to rewrite some text, how do I do it? I do it here? Not
That's
yet, but let's
perfect.
build it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Right. I had I'm putting on my product hat really quickly. How difficult was it to build within the Google framework, rather than like build something like a plugin yourself, where you have a little bit more flexibility and control in your tech stack? But I imagine you're somewhat limited in what Google actually provides, or is that a fair statement? Or
uh, some things are easy to do, but sometimes Google doesn't let you do anything you would like to do, like in a SaaS business, like in a SaaS software,
right.
because there you have all the access, all the control. Google is restrictive to the uh, type of access they give you to their users. So there is a process that where they when you want to submit your add-on to the marketplace, they need to verify it. They need to ask you, why do you need access to the entire Google Drive, for example? Well, because
Mm,
I need to process the images, and uh, but if you want to build something cool, they'll publish it. There's not an issue.
right. Yeah. I
The
mean,
language that is written this, it's like some JavaScript with some Google
mm,
functions that you need to connect
wow.
to. So it's not that hard if you know a bit of programming. uh, JavaScript, TypeScript, you would be uh, fairly easy to build something.
Interesting. Yeah. So, I mean, they look at it like if it's something that's useful. Google looks at it like if it's useful, or if it's not intrusive, or
Yeah,
in
yeah,
getting too much involved with security and all that good stuff. But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. I'm assuming
yeah.
what you want to build and who it's for and the language that it's built in.
Yeah, yeah. There are things very complex built on this, and
Yeah.
actually, the other tool that we we build are a bit more complex than this one.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, let's dive into some of those other tools. I think you mentioned there was another one that may be good fit for marketers or SEOs. Which tool are were you mentioning?
Uh, that was file drop. Some of
File drop.
the
Okay.
yes, getfiledrop.com. Let me share you the screen on this one.
And I'll post the links in the chat, everyone. So you'll have links to docpress.it and also file drop.
So what file drop will actually let you do? Actually, the easy thing that you can do is um, drag and drop files in your Google Sheets cells. So you get any file you have on your computer, and this will upload it directly into your Google Drive. Maybe not the best image that I could have put here, but
It's a good example.
sorry, man. Yeah. So you can insert images in cells. That's one way to add content to this. And if you go to settings, don't add image, add as link. So a lot of people use it for reports, add all kinds of reports here, contracts and stuff like that. Again, you go to a PDF file. And you can see it here. Everyone that usually these Google Sheets are shared with people, or not usually, but sometimes they are shared. You can give them different types of access. Anyone with the link, anyone in the domain can have access, domain with link or private, only yourself. Because some of the files, maybe you want to keep them for yourself. Some of the files, you want to keep them with the team that you're sharing, whatever you're sharing here. You have access to your entire drive. So you can search here whatever file that you already have, and it will insert it in the sheet. It keeps a history of the files that you're inserting in sheets, so you can insert them again. So, and you can preview them if you want. So if you have images, we have like photo studios that are using this to share e-commerce photo shoots with their clients. They would take shots of the product and they would share the shot in a sheet. I'm not in the space, but they approve, they have some sort of approvals process in the sheet itself, and they would present those to the client. Or we have like people in the video space that are using this to, I have no idea how they use it. I try to get in contact with them, but like HBO studios use it to share their stuff. They didn't say for what. Others people use it as well for, they put the timestamp of the image in a cell and the image in another cell, and I think they run a process through it. I have no idea. But there are a lot of companies, manufacturing companies are using this, marketing companies are using it. Like, man, this sheet space is huge. I have no idea. Yeah,
it definitely is. Yeah. So it's kind of like I guess you'd imagine like a shortcut, I guess, to certain files. You just drag and drop them in there, and then it automatically syncs up, adds it to your drive, essentially.
Yeah. It adds it to your drive. You can select the folder. It automatically, when you install it, it creates the file drop folder, and you can start using it right away. But if you want to change the folder, you can change it. You can change it to even share the drives. You can use it. So if you're a team and you're using this as a team, you can all save the files in the same folder using the same sheet.
Interesting. Yeah, I could imagine like in the SEO space or, in digital marketing, there's plenty of like, obviously we do monthly reports. And so it's nice to have give the client like an archive of like every single monthly report But when you do the report, they usually take, I mean, I've known some agencies that take a couple hours to do these things. So the last thing you want to do is have to like build a file, put it in there, put the file in the folder. And it's just like steps that just are kind of like meaningless. But this, you could just
Okay.
easily drag and drop, and it creates obviously the link where the file actually lives. What?
Yeah,
Sorry, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
that was the issue. That's why I built this. I
Yeah.
built this for me, and then it became a product because I was building um, our other product, uh, this one here, drop space, and
Hmm.
I was working with the programmer, and I was using Google Sheet as a bug reporting tool and feature stuff. And I was always designing or making screenshot of the tool. Man, let's move here. Let's move this from here to here. Let's replace the text. Let's do this. Let's do that. And it was a pain to upload the image in Drive, then go to Drive, copy, share, put it in the, paste it in the cell where we, because we were at a different setup. And I
Yes.
said there must be a way that you can do this quicker. It takes too much time to just insert
Yeah.
an image in a cell. It must be easier. So that's how file drop
Yeah.
came to
I'm
be.
curious. Do you have a goal of automating your entire like workflow? You sounds like you automated pretty much main aspects of just like the workflow, which is amazing. I wonder if that's kind of your mission, is to automate your entire life, you know?
I'm not sure if it's a mission, but yeah, I try to do a lot of automation stuff because
That's amazing.
I'm doing a lot of stuff and I want to do it easy. I mean, my time
Yes.
is limited.
That's the goal.
Everyone's time is limited. You don't want to spend
That's right.
your time with the little stuff. I want to do the big stuff easy. Have time
Absolutely.
for to think.
That's right. I'm noticing on this screen, does this tool operate on a freemium kind of model as well? I see the premium subscription. What does the user
Yeah,
get after they get the premium subscription versus like just a standard, if you do have one?
yeah. So for the free users can use the tool and upload directly the images here. They can
Okay.
do basically this stuff. They don't have access to the library and the drive,
Gotcha.
but and also they can upload only 100 files per month, and the files are up to 4 MB in uploads. The premium version gives you unlimited files. It gives you access to the file history, to Drive, and you can upload up to 50 files per drop if you want. The free
Gotcha.
version
Okay.
only gives you 4 files, but
Interesting.
it's still very easy to use. Most people
Right.
don't need to upload 100 files or 50 files at once.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I want to show you something else that
Yeah.
the tool
Absolutely.
does.
Good.
So, for example, if you have this file here, that's, I think it's an
Hmm.
invoice. We have this text here, and if we click it, it will extract the text from the,
Oh, interesting.
yeah, it's an OCR reader, and you can insert it in the doc or just copy it, and you have the
There
information
it
that
is.
you wanted to extract from the invoice, for example, directly in the sheet. You can copy it. If it's in another language, you can translate it. So now this is Romanian, I can translate it to English.
Mm, that's neat.
And you have the same information, but you have it in English now.
Really cool. Yeah, somebody sent me a proposal in a PDF, and it was so hard to read because it was so many line items. I wish I just, and it took me like hours to basically move it from the PDF to like a Google Sheet, and this did it like in a matter of seconds. It just it just pushed everything out there. So
Yeah,
this is a
actually,
big. productivity hack?
I had an issue with this because actually what I wanted to do with this is I was taking screenshots of different parts of
Mm,
websites where that I couldn't copy, and I would drop them in file drop and then extract the text from there for ads and marketing stuff, actually copywriting, because they were images from Facebook ads,
right.
and I didn't want to copy to write the text from the image. I wanted to extract it and use it like it is.
That's really neat, man. Hey, I had a clarification question. This stuff, I mean, the files, they rest on the user's Google Drive, or they use
Yeah.
a space that's synced up with the account through the application,
No, no, no,
or
no.
is it directly
Everything
on? It's through
everything
my
it's
drive.
done in their drive. We don't have
Okay,
access to any of the files you do there.
that's amazing.
Uh, the the app runs in your account. It doesn't run in any other account. It runs by itself in your account,
That's amazing.
and the files are
Perfect.
in your drive in the file drop folder if you
Mm-hmm.
want to use that. Or you can use another folder, but you need to upgrade to the premium version for that as well.
Update the printer. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was confused about a little bit. But yeah,
But you
thank you for
can
the
share the
clarification.
folder, and you can. It's really easy to use,
Gotcha.
or at
Super
least I
easy.
think it's
Yeah.
easy.
I think it is too. I mean, just the time saving from, yeah. I mean, all the file organization and all that stuff that people do on a regular basis. This is just a good productivity hack indeed. Um, yeah. So this is a great tool. Did you have one more to share, or any others to share? Because I mean, these are great, obviously. But I know I see some more tools on this page, and I know we could probably run this stream for probably another hour or so. But obviously, your time is valuable, so I don't want to take too much of your time. But did you
Okay,
have any
so the
others you
last,
wanted to share? Yeah.
yeah, let's maybe back a bot. This is very simple. This is an MVP still. It's
Okay.
We're still working on it. It basically it will back up your Google Sheets now. We're still fiddling with the rest of the Google Workspace suite, like Google Slides, Google Docs. It will work for that as well, but for now, it's only for Sheets. For example, if you work on reports, an issue we had at our company before,
Hmm.
we did reports in Google Sheets that were shared with everyone, and
Mhm.
a lot of the people that we were sharing with had writing access, editing access. We had formulas that were sometimes messed up by someone that was editing the file itself, especially the newcomers, newbies, because we had those
Yeah.
as well.
Hmm.
So what this does is you can schedule backups, or you can do it on demand. For example, I have this file here. I entered my, I don't know, financial information, and I want to back this up because I want to edit this and I want to do something else with it. You
Hmm.
can make a copy here, for example. Yeah, you can, but this will create the backup in the
Mm.
backup folder. Or if you want to, you can schedule daily backups. For example, after everyone is everyone's has ended, maybe 6 o'clock every day, we can set a daily backup or a weekly backup.
Hmm.
Daily backup set for 6 o'clock. You can cancel it and set different types of backups. Every file can have its own scheduled backup. Uh, and we're gonna add a few more features like folders backups. Again, this runs
Mm.
in your Google Drive, in your Google Workspace. Doesn't
Right.
connect with anything else. It doesn't back up the file somewhere on our servers or anything like that. but we might add that option as well for people that do want to save their files on Dropbox, for example, because there are people that back up their drive to their Dropbox for some reason
Gotcha. Wow.
to be double
That's
safe.
fascinating. Yeah, to be double safe. Yeah, I'd imagine, especially with like sensitive information, or as you mentioned, things that are that are like changing or being updated. But let's just say someone new comes in, and obviously backups are going to be extremely important for just maintaining the files, just overall, just quality control thing. Yeah.
Something like that. I use it. The example, for example, I use it daily. I have another small business where we would take orders with
Hmm.
clients and stuff like that, and we back the
Yeah.
files every day because someone might messed up an address, a phone number, or they might edit something that was not supposed to edit, and
Yeah.
another way to solve my own problem.
I love it, man. So, I mean, you're solving a lot of I mean, not only your problems, but other people's problems as well. So, thank you for that. And I have like, I guess like one of the like last few questions I have is like
Please.
with all these different products that serve a different, obviously purpose. What's your kind of marketing? How are you marketing each one to make sure that they have the appropriate attention and that folks are like figuring out about your apps? Is it primarily through the Google like web space like marketplace, or is it through your own version of SEO? Like how are you getting folks aware of these tools other than obviously the stream? But what are other marketing techniques?
So yeah, one of them is the marketplace because that's why it's a marketplace. People search
Hmm.
for different types of tools to solve their own problems.
Right.
That's a great way to do it. We use Google Ads for very particular searches uh,
Mm.
because these tools are very focused on something very specific, like file drop. People that want to add PDF to their Google Sheets. That's
Yes.
a really specific topic, for example. DocPress, people that want to export to make that easy for SEO, for blogging productivity, with the backups as well. People do want to back up their files because they do stupid stuff with them sometimes. uh,
Right.
yeah, so yeah, that's a second. And then we write articles. SEO,
Mm.
it's very valuable to be on those specific searches.
Mm.
Uh, we start with paid, but we're using the paid marketing channel to retrieve keywords on what people are searching, what's valuable for them, what converts well, and then we start writing content on those specific searches to reduce our ad spend.
That's a great strategy. Mm. Yes.
Maybe you
Amazing.
can help us with suggestions, but you're
Absolutely,
the expert.
yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, obviously, looking at, I mean, Search Console for keyword variations as well to these applications. But I'm curious. I'm like, does Google's Marketplace give you any competitive research data or like keyword data where you could? It doesn't. No. Okay. Yeah,
Not
that's
nada.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
nothing.
it would have been great to have
I
something there,
know.
but
I
no, they
know.
don't give you.
Yes.
It's really opaque. It's closed,
Yeah. Yeah.
unfortunately.
Well, you're hitting on some good like you're solving some good problems as well. So it sounds like you have a recipe though of like, I mean, starting on solving your own problems and then building those and seeing that everyone else has those problems too. And then using the combination of paid ads, looking at your search terms report, building out content for that to hit on SEO. And yeah, and just kind of having that work for you and having these tools kind of interlink with one another, I think is a brilliant strategy. But Alex, I'd like to ask one more question, if that's cool with you,
Please, yeah,
before we
sure.
go. What advice would you give to other like tool builders out there who are looking to, maybe develop something new or even get into the Google Sheet space, or what's some good advice to some other tool builders out there?
Uh, what helped me so far to build this stuff is as you said it, I'm solving my own problem, and if it's something valuable, uh, I try to find all the other, I don't know, ways to solve it and make mine the best one. I mean, a good product needs to solve a good problem, I guess. But if you uh, have the experience or you want the experience, I think the Google Workspace is a great place to start a small business. So if you're thinking of tinkering with SaaS, SaaS is complicated and it's harder to build. The Google Workspace Marketplace brings you traffic, brings you users, testers that can help you with that. Um, there is an indie movement now that can help you and sharing your story, your little tool that solves a problem. Others will see it like you saw mine, for example, and it's specific, like something you can't do anything, everything good from the start. Like, for example, with the DocPress, it didn't look like that when we started. It only did the transfer of your WordPress content, text and images to your WordPress site. So I guess people
Wow.
should start launching earlier, get feedback, and then build the features that the sometimes users ask for specific features and are great. Sometimes you need to not do what they say because they might want something that very particular. It won't solve other users problems. So when I build a feature, I'm looking at how many other people are will be using this. Are there just one, or maybe there are a few? Maybe you have other people to look to contact. And what I'm doing, for example, is ask every client that pays, what are they using it for? So that's why I find out, man, these guys from photo studio in the Czech Republic, and there's
Wow.
HBO that's doing that, and there's this elevator company that are keeping track of their repairs of in their city there. So you need to talk with the customers. Once you get users, you need to be a bit pushy, maybe find out how they're using it, and then use that in your advantage to create content, for example, to make the tool better. You can, if they ask you something, maybe they will request something that's very useful. Ask them about the other features. Man, I want to introduce this. Will it help you? I don't know. I think there's a lot of things you can do, but start
Yeah.
small, do something very specific first, and then add on top of it.
Well said. Well said. Well, thank you for that. That was really well said, and continue to solve your problems because you're solving all of our problems as well, Alex. And so if
Happy
people want to
to.
get a hold of you or reach you, how do people find you?
Uh, Headwayapps.com is our website. On Twitter, I guess I'm on Alex Dumitru, Alex.Dumitru, Alex_Dumitru. Sorry, I'm
No
not
worries.
using. I'm not used to share my
No, it's
my
all good.
stuff. And I don't know. We've get filedrop.com, dogpress.it, and that's about it. I guess so.
Right on. Well, thank you very much, Alex, for coming on, man. I appreciate you, and definitely get some rest out there. Thank you for staying late with us. I appreciate you.
Thank
Thanks for
you
coming
also. It
on.
was great to be here. Cheers. Have a good night.
Cheers. See ya.
Bye.